Okay, the Florida Gators win the college basketball championship. How about those apples? Florida 65, Houston 63. Defense, Clayton was held to no points in the first half, hit a big 3-point bucket toward the end of the game, but Florida trailed in this one by as many as 10 to 12 points. So what was going on? Florida's ball movement. If I had one criticism of Florida, get the ball moving a little quicker. But the Florida-Houston game, there was good defense on both sides. Houston used, from going back to my days of playing ball, when I was on that 16-2 team in the 9th grade, that was the best team I was ever on, I believe. Lakeshore Junior High, Lakeshore Warriors, 9th grade. We won the Western Division title, JC. But Houston used a trapping style. And at times the guards had trouble moving the ball, penetrating the ball, passing the ball. You saw it. You actually saw both teams do it. The court spacing at times. I mean, you get guys really jammed up. The trapping of the defense, good defensive play. Florida finally overcame that 10 to, did it get up to as many as 12 points at one time that Houston was leading about halfway through the second half? Florida went on a run. Florida even missed some precious free throws and still won the game. You had a couple of free throw shooters that were not good free throw shooters on the line for Florida. I think those were some of the bench players that were coming in. But, you run these guys on and off the court, they're going to get fouled. They're going to have to shoot free throws. And it almost cost the Gators a game. However, it's a team game. They played defense. Everybody played their role. Another critical thing, Florida had a couple of I think they had 2 technical fouls in this game and still managed to overcome that and win the game. Florida Gators win the national championship from the 2024-25 season. Florida Gators 65, the Houston Cougars 63, the final score. Florida Gators sit at the top of the world in college basketball. Man, how much NIL money is floating around in college basketball? But I'm going to tell you, I watched the second half of Florida's win over Houston. Florida's semifinal win over Auburn, which was also still considered a comeback win by the Gators. I think the Gators had, 3 or 4 comeback wins in the tournament. They got over the hump, got to the Final Four, got to the final game, and they won it 65-63. I think Florida's got a couple of players that are first-round NBA players or potential NBA drafted players. This is a very good team that Coach Todd Golden put together. They won college basketball's ultimate prize. Go Gators. We're brought to you by Saucer Realty and Capital for your real estate needs here in North Florida, whether it's home, residential, business, or commercial real estate. Saucer Realty and Capital. My other electric razor went kaput, and I had to buy another one. Lo and behold, there's no traditional charger in there. You get one of these USB ports. Let me show you where it is here. See that thing right there? Got to plug it into the laptop to charge your electric razor. My goodness, what's this world coming to? And I unplugged it when we started doing the podcast. We'll have to plug it back in. I'm not going to get a chance to shave this morning. We'll try to shave late tonight or probably in the morning. Florida Gators, national champions of college basketball here on the field. The NFL draft is going to be. I wrote some stuff this morning after seeing a couple of social media posts about who the Jags should draft, what should happen. I am encouraged by General Manager James Gladstone. Meet the Gladstones. I'm a little bit encouraged because what they did was there was talk of Trayvon Walker getting re-upped and signing a new multi-year deal. And what did the Jags do? The executive, and he presides over all this, the executive vice president of football operations, Tony. They have exercised the fifth-year option of Trayvon Walker, but this is actually his fourth year, so he's going to have to play this year and next year, and he's going to have to turn on the jets and the juices to get really a huge contract, in my opinion. David Stewart, one of our listeners of the podcast, popped up and said, "Go Gators. Go Gators, national champions. They win the Natty. Florida Gators 65, Houston Cougars 63, and really a defensive battle. Two good defenses, two teams that can handle the ball. Florida did a lot of things to lose the game, but man, they battled. And you finally felt in the last 3 to 5 minutes of the game, the final 3 to 5 minutes of the game, you started feeling that Florida was taking hold of the game and getting more control of the game, and they ended up winning. Florida 65 and the Houston Cougars 63. What I wrote concerning the Jaguars, my Jaguars notes this morning on Teal Tuesday, I'm still concerned with this offensive line. No matter how many free agents you bring in, McCarry, the backup center with the Buccaneers, I'm still concerned with the Jaguars O-line, no matter how many free agents you bring in. My thoughts with 10 picks, an offensive lineman early, an offensive tackle that can actually become, an all-pro that will be on a rookie deal. And JC, you're right. We're still talking about left tackle Will Campbell from the LSU Tigers. He'll be there at number 5, but so will the Michigan defensive tackle, and I think the Jags will go one way or the other. They could trade back and still get Will Campbell probably at 7 or 8. If somebody makes him an offer, somebody wants to move up and grab one of those quarterbacks that could, quite frankly, be a bust. But we'll see. Time will tell. My thoughts with 10 picks, an offensive lineman, an offensive tackle that can actually become an all-pro, that will be actually on a rookie deal. Let me stop. Did I stop the music here? Man, that's our music, JC, our podcast music. Till Tuesday. Okay, so I paused the music. I believe it's paused. Okay, so an all-pro. That's what I want at left tackle. Is Walker Little an all-pro, the guy that's penciled in there currently, and he signed, and Balky signed him to an extension? I think he could be a good left tackle, but he's not all-pro. I'm just going to throw it out. Walker Little is not all-pro. I mean, I hope he has a great career, and I hope he's in Jacksonville, and I hope the Jags can get to the Super Bowl. I'm looking at the highlights. Gators win 3rd national championship. 2 under Billy Donovan, and now they got one under Todd Golden. It's been a golden year. The head coach, Todd Golden, producer JC, executive producer JC. Again, my Jags notes, I'm still concerned with the offensive line. No matter how many free agents you bring in, my thoughts with 10 picks, an offensive lineman, an offensive tackle that can actually become all-pro. I threw a name out there, Will Campbell from LSU, that could be on a rookie deal. I know the Jags are probably enamored with the defensive tackle out of Michigan. I've watched his film. He's really good. Looks like he's going to be a good NFL run stuffer, and the Jags need that too. The Trayvon Walker situation, I'm going to give Gladstone points for, and even Tony Baselli was, I'm sure, in on the decision, but the Jags have exercised the fifth-year option on Trayvon Walker, but most everybody on a rookie deal that's drafted in the first round, they exercise that fifth-year option. How quickly do the Jags sign Trayvon Walker to his next contract, a multi-year deal with a lot more money? I don't know. I need to see another year. I do. Trayvon's got the sacks, but when did the sacks occur? So the jury, in my opinion, is still out on Trayvon Walker. Man, he needs to create more havoc along the defensive line, and I said yes, defensive line. Again, my thoughts with 10 picks, still an offensive lineman, an offensive tackle that can actually become an all-pro. That will be on a rookie deal. My draft positions of need would be offensive tackle, defensive tackle, still offensive guard on a rookie deal. I love Tate. Tate Rutledge out of Georgia would be my ideal offensive guard in the draft. Safety cornerback, somewhere in the early rounds for me, early to middle rounds. Wide receiver, tight end in the middle to late rounds. Keep in mind the Jaguars have 10 picks in the 2025 draft, which will be held in Green Bay in late April of this month of 2025. And, I know there will be a surprise somewhere in the draft, but this is an opportunity now to completely make the O-line solid, seal it up. Because if you cannot make the O-line solid, your quarterback's going to be hurt every year, and you're never going to make the playoffs with your quarterback hurt. That's my take on Teal Tuesday. I'm Scott from Big J Report. Special thanks to our sponsors out there of the Teal Shirt Report podcast. We do want to thank them. We do. We want to thank the MadMaxMix.weebly.com. Mad Max, great show on Wednesday nights. Our sponsors are on our ticker too, on YouTube here. I want to thank Mad Max with the MadMaxMix.weebly.com. Max sounds great. Max sounds great on his show. After having surgery now, I think a couple of months ago, he took about a month hiatus or rest. He needed the rest after the major surgery. And now he's back. He's been back for about a month doing the shows on Wednesday nights, and Mad Max sounds great. Again, the MadMaxMix.weebly.com. There's music there. There's music programming 24/7. Mad Max is live on Wednesday nights with the MadMaxMix.weebly.com on Wednesday nights from 6 till 8 o'clock Central Time, 7 o'clock till 9 o'clock Eastern Time. Don't forget about JC's show. Man, we're not going to forget about Live from the Pub on Thursday nights with the incomparable JC, also our executive producer on the podcast. Check out JC Live from the Pub on Thursday nights at LakeUvalahits.com. Larry Salser, I talked to Larry a couple of days ago, and we're going to get together for lunch this week or next week, I think. We'll see what happens. Man, when I get together with Larry, it's always great food. I'm going to tell you, we may go to Uncle Charlie's, legendary on the west side. We might hit over to Sonny's. They got great places in McClenny, like Pier 6 as well. But I do want to emphasize our sponsors, the MadMaxMix.weebly.com, Lake Eufaula Hits, and Saucer, Realty and Capital. Our executive producer, JC, thank you so much for putting all this together on Teal Tuesday. Florida Gators win the national championship. Did that surprise anybody? What do you think about the game? Did Florida almost blow it early in the game, especially early in the second half? Give me your comments in the notes. Florida Gators win it all. Florida Gators 65, Houston Cougars 63. And check for concerts in the area. Check our Neighbors 2 section at bigjreport.com. We'll talk more about concerts in our next podcast. This is also episode show number 18. I want to salute number 18, Roman Gabriel. Who else wore 18? I know there's somebody I'm missing, but Roman Gabriel was my favorite quarterback in the NFL early on. My favorite college quarterback was John Reeves out of Florida. I was never a Peyton Manning fan. But I gained a lot of respect for Peyton Manning late in his career. He won Super Bowls with the Colts, a Super Bowl with the Broncos. So he won two, I believe he won 2 Super Bowls. And I think did Peyton wear, I always thought Peyton wore 16 like Trevor, or Trevor wore 16 like Peyton. But no, you look at the jerseys, Peyton Manning was number 18. Were those the 2 most famous number 18s for me? Peyton Manning and Roman Gabriel. Harge. That's how he counted. Peyton was more Omaha. So Roman Gabriel played with the LA Rams when I first started watching the NFL. And one of my first games when I was a kid, 6, 7 years old, I saw the Rams with Roman Gabriel shut out the Buffalo Bills. What was it, at Orchard Park in Buffalo? The Rams won that game on the road, JC. Way back. Dennis Shaw was the quarterback for Buffalo in that particular game, I believe. So some historic games early in my lifetime. I was probably 6 or 7 years old at the time. So I liked Roman Gabriel, who played with the LA Rams, was later traded to the Philadelphia Eagles. I rooted for him when he was with both teams. I've been a Jacksonville Jaguars fan since, way back, since before the team started playing games, when the Jaguars got awarded the franchise in November of 1993, and then they started playing games in 1995. Man, it's been 30 years of Jacksonville Jaguars football, and you can follow it all on the Teal Shirt Report podcast. We've been eloquently produced by our executive producer, JC. Also, Alex Nunry. I've given Alex the keys to our the StreamYard. Alex is going to be like a co-host. Alex, let's see a live stream from you, buddy. But Alex is with us. He's also a producer, as well as our executive producer, JC. I want to thank John Gaylor, our correspondent and contributor, and he's a Florida Gator fan. So he was extremely excited about the Florida Gator National Championship, as I know Alex Nunry was. JC's a big Alabama fan. I think he likes Auburn in basketball a little bit too. But Auburn had a great run. They made it to the Final Four. Congratulations to all the SEC basketball teams. It was a great season for SEC basketball. And then Florida topped it off by winning the national championship, Florida 65 and Houston 63. Man, that's going to do it for the Teal Shirt Report podcast. I'm your host, Scott. And man, I am out of here. Go Gators! Ooh.